This is a song that probably has become an anthem for South America. So feel free to join, because this is the Cantor of the Americas.
said good evening. There you go. So one of the hottest tickets in town is Fiddler on the Roof, and perhaps many of you took the opportunity this weekend to go and see in Broadway. We are going to do like a little, our own version of it. But what is so special about it is that we are going to be singing in 4 languages, representing the whole mantra of Masorti Olami. And we are doing in Hebrew, Spanish, English, and Yiddish. Right?
Yo.
Bienvenue à toutes et tous. My name is Rosemberg, and I serve as the Associate Rabbi at Temple Israel Center in Westchester, just north of Manhattan. Admittedly, I know some of you here, but I may not know many of you, and perhaps that's deliberate. I'm here to represent the young generation of worldwide Masorti clergy, and a worldwide movement we really are. This is a fully international tribute, and earlier downstairs, Rabbi Savnor really demonstrated that for us when he asked us all to rise. My journey with Masorti Olami began in my first year of rabbinical school. I had participated in a trip to Germany with some fellow JTS students and our dean, Rabbi Danny Nevins. And our trip was organized by the German government, but knowing that we would be there, Rabbi Gisa Ederberg of Masorti Olami in Berlin astutely organized a Masorti Europe Shabbaton during our visit. I led Kabbalat Shabbat that Friday night, and after services, a woman I hadn't yet met came up to me to say hello. She spoke to me in English, but I immediately picked up on her French accent. And so, as the Francophile from Montreal that I am, I responded in French. Before Westchester, I was in Halifax, actually, Marion, so for a bunch of years. So wonderful to make that connection. So I responded to her in French. The woman was Johanna Kupar, who at the time was president of Masorti Europe. Born out of that one encounter, my work with Masorti Olami began. Thanks to Rabbi Chuck Simon's efforts, his mentorship and commitment, I was able to fulfill my main JTS rabbinic internship in France. During my year in Israel, I then nurtured that rapport with regular visits, and now, in just a few weeks, I am headed back to France to assist Masorti's newest congregation, Beth Tikva in Toulouse. And I'm going to really assist them in cultivating an identity, acquiring the necessary tools and training to effectively offer its congregants a spiritual home of impact and depth. Here in North America, I sometimes hear from rabbis and cantors that their primary task is to sustain existing centers of Jewish life. Creativity and innovation are sometimes met with skepticism and red tape. Among our greatest challenges in some communities, in certain cities, is figuring out what to do with these large, sometimes cavernous sanctuaries with which we have been endowed. But I have found that among the many benefits of working with Masorti Olami is the clean slate in so many cities and regions. The ability for clergy to engage creatively with ingenuity and innovation. It is such a powerful thing to be able to help emerging communities form and fortify. So please know that you have a partner in North American clergy. We will work with you, and we are certainly honored to support you in this most sacred task. It's now my honor to welcome the president of Masorti Olami, Jillian Kaplan, for an update.
What a great example of the work we're trying to do. Thank you, Rob. Good evening, everyone. It's really wonderful to see so many people celebrating here with us this evening, and to be in the company of our wonderful honorees, Rabbi Marcelo Rittner, Cantor Elias Rosemberg, and Marion Mayman. It is truly an encounter of the Americas, and one that we are very proud to host. Since its formation in the late 1990s, Masorti Olami has grown from a little more than a concept to a busy hub, providing support to new communities, helping share best practice across international borders, and ever-growing input into activities for the youth who will be our future. For the past 9 years, Rabbi Tzvi Gretz has played a vital part in building our movement, for which we are very grateful. However, he and the movement have now moved on, and we have agreed that it is now time for Masorti Olami to restructure and for Rabbi Gretz to pursue other objectives. We expect to appoint his successor early in the new year, and we can look forward to the next phase in the development of Masorti Olami. This has been an exciting year, and the Masorti world continues to expand with new communities in South America and Europe, and further consolidation within many of our existing communities. This evening, I would like to focus on 3 special stories that encapsulate our work and the scope of our movement, and reflect our diversity and commitment to the Jewish world. As many people are aware, there has been a resurgence of Jewish life in Spain. 500 years after the Inquisition, we are now seeing the development of Masorti communities in Madrid, Barcelona, Alicante, and Valencia, and recently also in Seville. The members of these communities are from many countries, but the revival of Jewish life has also encouraged the interest of Spanish people with Jewish roots to reconnect to their Judaism. Once a year, Rabbi Chaim Rittner convenes a Bet Din in Madrid. This is usually over 3 days and culminates in a unique communal ceremony at a natural spring in the mountains just outside of Madrid. There is a mikveh in Madrid, but the leaders of the Orthodox community do not allow the Masorti Bet Din to use it. Those attending the ceremony are not only all the converts and their partners, but also the leaders and members of the community, and the atmosphere is one of celebration. This year was particularly special because one of the converts was in a wheelchair and was unable to walk unaided to the river at the bottom of the mountain. However, this was not a problem, as 5 people simply picked up the wheelchair, walked down the mountain and into the river, allowing the ceremony to be completed. The concept of conversions, meaning becoming part of a community, is also relevant in the Ukraine, where the Bet Din is convened during the annual family camp, embodying the idea that this isn't only a private and personal event. If we move across continents, we arrive in Buenos Aires, where 2 communities have come together to create a project to help disadvantaged people. This particular project is called Ticonea, and its focus is a communal dining hall for the homeless. Its aim is to help repair the world by providing a place for those less fortunate, to have a warm meal, to spend time in comfort, and to help people to study and find work. In a similar but different vein, the Masorti communities in London have joined together for an asylum seekers project, providing the very basic necessities of life to people who have fled wars, torture, or oppression, and have nothing to call their own, just as many of our ancestors did over the past century. These projects, which are reflected in others across the world, are examples of the ethos of Tikkun Olam, which is an intrinsic value of Masorti communities everywhere. Masorti aims to connect communities across continents, and there are many specific examples of exactly how that happens. One of these is through our rabbis who travel to set up and support educational and religious programs, which are greatly appreciated. Thank you, Aaron. Being part of a worldwide movement is also about sharing best practice and knowledge and experience. A concept well illustrated by one of our rabbis, Rabbi Kaiser. Rafi has a background in Latin America, an education in North America. He successfully nurtured and developed a community in London and is now a rabbi in our Masorti community in Sydney, Australia. While it is not anticipated that all our Masorti rabbis will travel to such an extent, it is important that we are aware of how widespread the Masorti world is and how we are connected across that world. These are just 3 examples, but there are many more. The development of our Kahila in Kiev in the Ukraine, the Nofim Leadership Training Course in Chile, the development of new communities in France, the opening of a branch of the Seminario in Brazil, the coming together of the entire Jewish community as part of the celebrations of the bicentennial of Argentina, and the continuing partnership of Noam Olami and US Wine, and the growth, together with Marom Olami, of groups of our young people around the world. Our goals for the coming year are as wide-ranging and expansive as they have ever been. We want to continue to build sustainable congregations, and particularly to target areas where the Jewish community is showing real vitality. We want to develop new strategies to target youth and young adults. We are looking constantly to disseminate best practice and attract new young leadership within our communities and our organisations. And we will continue to build a global network of congregations which reflect our own Masorti ideological commitment. Your help and support in every way is vital to our having a successful movement and a continuing influence on the lives of the Jewish people all over the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to thank Cantor Elias Rosemberg, Elias, that helped me with my Latin American accent. So thank you very much. And I want to offer you 3 melodies from Latin America, from Argentina, Brazil, and Mexico. You can help me with your voice. Also, if you want, you can dance or clap, okay?
El farolito de la calle. tribute to Rabbi Marcelo Rittner and to the Cantor Elias, Rosemberg, a recognition to the Latin American Masorti movement and its contribution to Judaism. Also, it's a recognition to the teacher we had in common, Rabbi Marion, Mayor, Zichron Livracha. We just read a parasha that symbolizes your work, Marcelo, in the best possible way. Toldot, history, the history of the family. Really, Toldot Yitzchak. And these are the Toldot of Yitzchak and Abraham, father of Yitzchak. Those of us who are close to you know how important family is to you, how family centered your life is. And here, the tribute, I hope you agree, goes first to your wife, Ruthie, the Rebbe, who has always been beside you, being your companion and support. To your children, your daughter Sharon and her spouse Suri, your daughter Karen, and Gabriel and his spouse Sonia, nonetheless to your grandchildren. Estrella, Moy, Paulina, Bernardo, Natalia, Victor, Samuel, and Linda, all my affection for always being by your side. Listen to you talk about your family, about Ruthie, your children, but especially your grandchildren, is always a Dvar Torah. When you talk about them, your eyes light up, but seeing you with them shows us all that your soul is the flaring one. This week, we read from the Torah, Vayetze Yaakov mi Beersheba, vayelech Haran. Yaakov went out from Beersheba, went toward Haran. He came to a certain place and stayed the night there, because the sun had set. He took a stone from the place, put it under his head, and lie down there to sleep. He dreamed that there before him was a ladder resting on the ground, with its top reaching to heaven, and the angels of Adonai were going up and down on it. Don't worry, Marcelo, my friend, I didn't remain the parasha only because it talks about Beersheba. I wrote it out because I believe that it's similar to the beginning of the rabbinical story of Rabbi Marcelo Rittner. Living in Buenos Aires in 1975 toward Brazil to the CIP congregation, where he served for 10 years, then further even more up north to Mexico congregation, Bethel, where he has been serving as a rabbi since 1985 until today. I can only imagine the young Rabbi Marcelo who was just ordained, as Yaakov did, he lives frequent to his new mission. The Torah tells us that immediately after leaving Haran, Yaakov had a dream in which he could see angels going up and down the ladder. There are many interpretations to this dream, including the meaning of the ladder and the angels. I imagine now Marcelo, the night before leaving for Brazil 40 years ago, with the eagerness, doubts, and fears from the new job in a unknown place. I would not be surprised to discover that exactly as Yaakov, you turn your souls toward Hashem and asked him for inspiration, peace, and courage to be successful in your new mission. Marcelo is a person of deep belief and elevated level of spirituality. There he was like Yaakov with his own angels going up and asking for inspiration. Shortly after that, he came right back like the angels, back to the ground, to reality, to be closer to humans, to his congregation and the daily task. A true congregational rabbi who lives constantly between these two, God and congregation. How to serve deaf, born and adequate manner without forgetting the other. Marcelo along the years has equilibrated amazingly between the two worlds. To end, I want to share an old Chinese legend that goes like this. An old Chinese woman had two big buckets, which were tied up to both ends of a long rod which she carried on her shoulders. One of the buckets was riven and the other one was perfect. This last one always arrived to the end of the long walk full of water, while the second one was always half empty. For a long time, it was like that, with the old lady arriving home with just a bucket and half of water. Naturally, the perfect bucket was very proud of himself and his achievements, while the poor cracked bucket was very ashamed of his imperfection and of only being able to deliver half of the quantity he should. After 2 years rethinking about his defect because he was cracked, the bucket spoke to the lady while she was walking. I am ashamed of myself, since the crack I have causes me lose half of the water on your way to your home. The old lady then smiled. Have you ever observed the beautiful flowers that are only in your side of the road? I have always known of your imperfection, so I planted seeds on your side of the road. And every day, on our way back home, you watered them. For 2 years I could pick those beautiful flowers to decorate the table. If you were different than you are, I wouldn't have had those wonders on my home. Dear Marcelo, I believe that the perfect bucket is what we don't do when we have intention, knowing, premeditated, and with a lot of thought put into it. That's all the daily task. Sometimes we don't notice the other bucket we carry around. In the story, it's a cracked bucket. In life, it's what we left around in our walk through our path without thinking about it, without planning it, just by doing and not saying. Exactly as the bucket, you have dropped a lot of yourself along the road, and even without meaning to, you watered a lot of souls, from which grow beautiful flowers, and even more important, a lot of people's neshama. Thank you for all you did intentionally, and even more for watering our souls along your path.
Dear Marcelo, when people ask me why I became a rabbi, I only say one thing: Marcelo. It is really a very simple way of expressing everything I feel for you and everything you mean to me. I remember the first time me and Elias had dinner in your house with Ruti and Sharon and Karen. And Liz and I were not married then. It was about 30 years ago. And I said, "Where is Gabriel?" And you said to me, "We have him locked up in a cage." I remember turning around to Liz and saying, "I really like him, he's normal." At a moment such as this, where they're recognizing you as a leader of our movement worldwide, the first thing I would like to do is to thank you for everything you have given us. Ever since the first moment I set foot in Bethel as a youth director, you instilled in me not only the thought, but the always present ability to think of our movement as something that exists beyond ourselves and beyond the place where we actually live. It is because of you that I'm inspired to work for my colleagues relentlessly, that I'm inspired to work for my movement, that I'm inspired to work for my community. Many of us here probably do not know this, but the most thrilling thing about working with you as your assistant, and many years before that as your youth director, was that you really urged me without ever telling me to find my own voice, and with my voice to be able to do what you do, which is to inspire, to light a fire, to tell people they can accomplish things they never thought possible. And if you think that what I'm telling you is just because we're in a beautiful synagogue, in a room filled with people, I want to remind you, in your office, I met Chaim Vicente. In your office, I met Elisa. In your office, in the corridors of Bethel, so many things happened because of you that changed my life and the life of many of us who are here. That I don't think you actually can quantify how many lives you've touched and how many lives you have changed for the better to other life. I want to share just one thing that many of us do not know because it's really not within the realm of the Jewish community. Some years ago there was a tragedy, a deep tragedy in Mexico, in one of our northern cities. A gun, a kindergarten filled with children, literally exploded because of carelessness of the owners and the local government. And Marcelo wrote a book, Time to Say Goodbye, where he talks about what it means to say goodbye to our loved ones. And somebody in that community read his book, and they asked him to come and speak. And what happened was almost magical. All of these hundreds of people who had nothing to do with Judaism and no connection to Judaism were listening to the words of wisdom of my Rabbi, trying to get inspiration to better their lives, to understand their loss, and to move forward in a way in which no one, not even their own clergy, was able to ever explain them before. You are a human being before everything else, Marcelo. And that's why we admire you. You know, Mauricio talked about the Torah portion and talked about the Sulam, about the ladder. One of my favorite stories is told by the Kotzker Rebbe, who says that the ladder is permanently there. And that our souls, and not only the angels, are the ones that go up and down the ladder. And that while we're in this world, we are always jumping and leaping, trying to grab onto the ladder to go back up again. You taught me never to give up, to fight for what's right, even in the face of adversity and of tremendous odds. Like the Kotzker believed, you believe that God loves leaping souls. Thank you, Marcelo, for that message of courage, of power, and of blessing, of never to give up. Being a Latin American, I want to end with a few words from Pablo Neruda, from Chile, which clearly express how all of us feel, living in many countries that are not our own, but still bringing the message that we were taught to bring. I grew up in this town. My poetry was born between the hill and the river. It took its voice from the rain, and like the timber, it steeped itself in the forest.
Ele toldot Mordechai Yehuda ben Dov Upnina. This is the story of Mordechai, the son of Dov Upnina. Upnina was born in Medanos, a town nearly 700 kilometers southwest of the city of Buenos Aires and close to the seaport of Bahia Blanca, where her parents established and worked when they arrived in Russia, from Russia, around 1895. Dov, which although it seems a contradiction of terms, was a honorable Galicianer, born in the Austro-Hungarian Empire under Franz Joseph in a place that you must look in the map with a magnifying glass, Volvonice. When he left the country, it was Poland. Earlier today, it still was Ukraine. Elie Toldot Mordechai, who was born in Buenos Aires and was the only son of Bernardo and Paulina. I grew up in San Juan and Boedo streets, a corner of tango and soccer, in a middle-class neighborhood, in a very, very small apartment. I still remember when all my parents' friends got together to give me a television as a gift in honor of my bar mitzvah. The TV was so big that it took almost the whole room. And I remember my bar mitzvah in the small shul a few blocks from home. Great memories. Since I was aware of this event, I could not stop thinking, how would my parents react knowing that their only son will today, in front of you, be the recipient of a rabbinical leadership award, the first Latino rabbi to receive such an honor. An award in New York, in the Golden Medina, unser Mordechai, we would have never imagined such an event. Trust me, nor did I. And I read in English. Still, he believed it is in English. Ah, a miracle, a miracle. And let me tell you something else. I'm so glad to be here, as I witness colleagues speaking well of me. That's a miracle too. Friends and family, thanks for sharing this night with me. It is very special to see and to feel you are so close to me. Special Mazal Tov to Miss Marion, Mayman, and to Cantor Elias and their families for their achievements. I accept mine on behalf of my colleagues, all of them, with the underlying sense of a common achievement for a resolute task filled with passion and idealism. As taught by our beloved teacher, Rabbi Marcelo, Zichrono Libracha. It was he who built the first bridge between when he came from New York to Buenos Aires and revolutionized a Jewishly indifferent continent, lighting a spiritual spark that gave Judaism vitality and a new meaning. I too was touched by that spark. And to you, dear Naomi, because you always open your home and heart and made us feel very special. I received this award with the hope that I may serve as a motivation for future generations of students of the Seminario Rabínico Latinoamericano, our common home, to continue with their noble task. And I accept this tribute, remembering my colleagues and friends who were called to the eternal rest. The seeds that they planted continue bearing fruit. I am glad, so glad, to be part of those who work so the Latin American Judaism be on the map. Thanks to all my colleagues from the RA who gave me the opportunity to meet and learn to discuss and discuss and discuss, to practice meditation and share so many dreams and projects, and especially Raftodot, to those friends who are here today. And obviously, to the trio known as the Vienna Code. Thanks to the members of Betel of Mexico, my community. For 32 years, they have encouraged me, showing their love and support. I bet you have already identified all of their members, right? They travel from Mexico to share this evening as a family. And this is the reason we call our community La Familia Betel. And I share this with my everyday partners, Leibele, Leonel, Ari, Raftodot, and of course, I share it with my favorite Yeke, Rudy, my companion of this life journey, since we met in that Camp Roma in Argentina. We have been in this journey for 46 years, hopefully for many more. You our children and grandchildren, all of you make me hungry for life, touch my heart and nourish my soul. Even though my grandchildren use my Mac and my iPhone without permission. To the Masorti Olami team, volunteers and professionals, again, thank you for this honor. I'm deeply, deeply grateful. Let us continue to become closer, uniting continents, lives, and reaffirming our presence and leadership in the Jewish future. Let's commit to our pledge to be Am Echad, Im Lev Echad, Im Kotel Echad. Tonight, we shall affirm, Ele Toldot Masorti Olami. This is our story, and together we shall make it happen. Thank you, muchas gracias, Toda Rabba.
Mazal tov. One of the most beautiful aspects of leading services in the south of France is actually this one moment during services when I sit back and the community members sing Sephardic piyutim. Sephardic piyutim that I don't know. So just as they are learning from me, I am learning from them, and it speaks to the variation of minhag, of liturgy, but all under our large umbrella. The new Sidur Lev Shalem that was recently published this year, published and released by the Rabbinical Assembly, I think reflects the diversity of minhag and liturgical setting that we find around our world, and it probably speaks to the impact that our kind of cross-national exposure is having even here in North America, that we are really being influenced by what we've uncovered in the rest of the world, and it's reflected in our Sidur as well. Speaking of prayer and tefillah, here is a beautiful setting of Modim.
Marcelo, kol hakavod, well-deserved award. Pleasure to share this evening with you. Ari Litvak is the Cantor of Betel Mexico. pleasure also, Ari, to sing with you. Thank you. Times we go back to Argentina so many years ago. Especially I want to thank my dear friend Marcelo. Marcelo has come all the way from Argentina, especially for this event. Gracias, amigo. Monty.
Something very special happens tonight. I'm not speaking of this beautiful event, honoring 3 wonderful Jews, my dear friend and meditation partner, Rabbi Marcelo Rittner, my beloved congregant Marion Mayman, and Gift of Chazan, Elias Rosemberg. I'm speaking of something else, something unlikely to capture much attention in the evening news. Yes, tonight, something special happens. We begin saying in our daily Amidah prayer, Tein Tal Umatar Livracha, send dew and rain for blessing, which we will continue to say until Pesach. Why is this addition of 2 words of special significance? Not merely because we have lengthened our service by a second, but for another reason. You see, in Israel, the words were added almost 4 weeks ago on the 7th of Teshvan. So beginning tonight, in our prayers, we are lockstep with Israel, in total synchronization with our beloved homeland. It is my greatest honor tonight to recognize Marion Mayman, who throughout her life has been lockstep with Israel, whose passionate devotion to Zionism, to Israel, has encouraged so many to emulate her commitment to that which is so vitally important to the Jewish world and to the Jewish future. Most recently, Marion served for many years as president of Merkaz Canada. To say that Marion lived and breathed Merkaz would be an understatement. Marion built up what had been a struggling organization into a cross-country entity with Merkaz Zionist activity on the agenda of synagogues throughout Canada. Where there was resistance or indifference, Marion responded with a tenacity, a determination that could move mountains, with her trademark forcefulness, always couched in pleasantness, derech eretz, and love for her fellow Jews. You know, the politics and the intricacies of Merkaz Zionist officialdom and the Jewish agency, we all know, can confound even the sharpest mind. But Marion has a way of cutting through the confusion, of making clear the mission, and getting all of us on board so that the Masorti world can be made stronger through our active, determined involvement. For Marion, Zionism, Israel, Jewish communities worldwide have been front and center throughout her life. From her earliest days in Nova Scotia, to Moshe Timurim in Israel, to Boston, Winnipeg, Ottawa, where she served as president of Agudat Yisrael congregation, and finally to Toronto. The well-being of Israel and Jewish life everywhere has been Marion's focus, Marion's passion. Her national presidency of Canadian Hadassah Witza, her presidency of JNF Ottawa, her involvement with the Canadian Foundation for Masorti Judaism, her continued service on the Jewish Agency Board of Governors, and the Vada Poel of the WZO, or as we say in Canada, the WZO, along with countless other involvements, attest to Marion Mayman's status as a true force of nature, tirelessly in pursuit of a stronger Israel and a Jewish world who are deeply committed to the values and traditions that have defined us up to this moment, and that with God's help will continue to lead us into a glorious tomorrow. We're deeply grateful to Marion's life partner Shlomo, to her children Gadi and Judy, Gershi Zichrono Livracha, David and Alana, and her grandchildren Samantha, Aaron, Jesse, Sloan, and Tanis, for sharing their beloved wife, mother, and Savta with us all these years. I'm deeply honored to present the Rabbi Benjamin Kreitman International Leadership Award to my congregant, my friend, my teacher, my inspiration, Mayman.
Shalom, everyone. Wow, what a night. It's not every night that one gets such a warm introduction by the President of the Rabbinical Assembly, who is also my Kehillah Rabbi and my friend, Rabbi Shine. Thanks very much. Also, it's not every night that one gets to share the bima with two so very dedicated leaders of Masorti conservative Judaism, Rabbi Marcelo, Rittner, and Cantor, Elias, Rosemberg. It is my honor and pleasure to be sharing the tribute tonight with both of you. Yasher Koach. This is actually not the first time that I've shared the bima with a rabbi and a cantor. The 2 years I was president of the Good of Israel congregation in Ottawa, now called Kehillat Beth Israel, I sat on the bima every Shabbat between Rabbi Arnold Fine and Cantor David Aptowitzer. But this is the first time that I have the honor of sitting between two such outstanding people whom I've just met. I look forward to our continued friendship. Stuck. Doesn't want me to get to the next page, but we'll get there. Receiving the Rabbi Benjamin Zeb Kreitman International Leadership Award and supporting the Onward Noam Olami program is very meaningful to me. Throughout my years of leadership, I have stressed the importance of reaching out and including our young adults. I believe that their leadership and involvement guarantee the continuity of Masorti conservative Judaism around the world. I have seen firsthand the work of USY in North America and Noam in Israel and the rest of the world. But we must keep these young people involved after their USY and Noam experience. So what better way than to offer scholarships for the 6-week Noam Leadership Training Program in Israel? In my opinion, leadership may best be defined as being a team player, surrounding yourself with the like-minded, dedicated people working toward the same goal. I have been blessed to have such teams of people working with me. My team at Masorti Olami, my team at Merkaz Olami, and my team at Merkaz Canada. Without all of you and your support and encouragement, I would not be receiving this prestigious Leadership International Award. Toda Rabba to Masorti Olami, and President Jillian Kaplan, for presenting me with this award. To the Masorti Olami staff, Randy and Tehillah, please extend my gratitude to all the staff, both here and in Israel. Thank you also to Rabbi Jennifer Gorman, the Executive Director of the Canadian Foundation for Masorti Judaism and Merkaz Canada. All of you have worked so hard to ensure tonight's success. Toda Rabba to all my friends and colleagues who are present tonight, and to all my supporters who aren't here in the flesh, but I know are here in spirit. Many thanks to everyone who has made donations in my honor. Your financial support is greatly appreciated. Special thanks to my family for their support and encouragement. To my son David and daughter-in-law Lanny, who are here with us tonight. It means the world to me having you here. Thanks to my son Gunny and daughter-in-law Judy back in Toronto, and to my 5 grandchildren. Sloan and Tanis here in New York, and Samantha, Aaron, and Jesse in Toronto. I love you all very much. Especially pleased, had a real surprise tonight, that our Boston cousins, Chaya, Michael, and Marion, are here celebrating with us tonight. You know what they say about Jewish geography? Well, here it is again. As it happens, they are also members of Cantor Rosemberg's Kehillah. So they're here for both of us, which is wonderful. What a coincidence. Last but not least, my husband Shlomo. What a guy. He sits at home eating TV dinners while I'm gallivanting all over the world. He likes to say that when he does accompany me, he walks 2 steps behind me, carrying my suitcase. But Shlomo, you are never 2 steps behind me. You're always right here by my side. Shlomo, without your love and wavering support and encouragement, I would never have been able to stand here tonight receiving this prestigious award. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I look forward to continuing working with all of you as we go from strength to strength. Toda Rabbi.
Here's Rabbi Michelle Robinson.
Elias, or Elias, as they call you here. Come here. Elias, Masorti. The fact that 60 members of Temple all came all the way from Boston, driving, flying on their trains. They came here to New York, says a tremendous amount about you, or their desire for bagels. But I think but I think, and I know in my heart of hearts that it is you, and I know that because Wes and I are the luckiest rabbis on the planet. We are the luckiest rabbis on the planet because we get to spend every day with you. My dear friend, move forward, because otherwise I can't see you. 10 years ago, you were installed as our Chazan, and at that moment, our beloved Rabbi Samuel, may his memory be for a blessing, charged you with a beautiful blessing. He charged you with the words, Va'ani tefilati. And he said that our prayer book gets that prayer wrong. Our prayer book says that that prayer means, and I offer my prayer. But actually, we should be looking at it through a different lens. Va'ani tefilati, he blessed you, is I am my prayer. I am my prayer. Elias, you are our prayer. Being a prayer means not only with the beautiful voice and the beautiful song on the beat, it means the beautiful life and the beautiful example off of the beat. Elias, you are our prayers. In the 10 years since Rabbi Shiel blessed you with those words, you are our prayer every single day. You are our prayer when you walk with us through the deepest sadnesses and lift us to the greatest joys. You are our prayer because you are the consummate family. Your love for Lorena and for your amazing boys, Mikey and David, is an inspiration to us all. From the very first moments that you joined us, when you used to lift them up onto your podium as you prayed for us, until tonight, when they will sing here by your side, you show us what it means to be a prayer in your love for your family. And you are our prayer because you not only mobilize the Yiddishkeit of your children, you mobilize the Yiddishkeit of all of our children. When you came to Temple Emmanuel, and for very many years, we have a tradition that bar mitzvah kids do not get to daven. We want to hear your voice, the Cantor. And you responded, that doesn't work for me. Actually, we're failing to educate our children. And you said, and you worked, and you thought, and you said, all right, here's how we're going to do it. I will do it with them. And you do, Elias. You stand on the beam by their side. You teach them to pray. And then you teach them to be their prayers. You devote countless hours to them. And then, when they're done with their bar mitzvahs, you call them up. I know this from personal experience. You call them up and you say, all right, come on back. Let's do it again. Because this doesn't end on the day of your bat or bar mitzvah. This is a lifetime of service and love. Elias, you have a magic gift with our post-B'nai Mitzvah teens. You have created Tees Morit to allow those who have musical gifts to shine on Simchat Torah, on Purim. You have, since the moment that you created our incredible Shabbat Alive service, which brings hundreds of people, you have always had one chair, one space for teenagers in our community. And we've watched them over the years grow and then go out to college where they are davening for their colleges and then their communities out there in the world. And just this past Thanksgiving weekend, when all of us were thinking about taking a break from work, you were doing your most holy work. You were creating a venue of music, of song, of inspiration to showcase our teenagers and our adults and let them shine. And that's another reason that you are our prayer. You are endlessly creative. You do not know what it is to stop. In fact, we could say, and if Wes was here, he probably would say, you are non-stop. In Lin-Manuel Miranda's words, you are, my friend, someone who pushes us always to do better, to be better, and never, ever to rest. The community Seder that you created, bringing hundreds of people. In fact, now I think you have to RSVP the 60 members of Temple Emmanuel. Please remember you should start RSVPing now. And of course, you brought us Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat for the first time in many years, a musical. And you brought beautiful, transformative music to Yom Kippur to show us that music can inspire us not only with a happy clappy, but also with a very serious spirit to come close to prayer. You are our prayer because you expose us to the world, to things like when you took your groups to Argentina and to Spain, and you brought all of us here tonight. It is so fitting that you are being honored tonight by Masorti Olami, because you bring the world to us. And it is so fitting that you're being honored with such esteemed colleagues, with Marion, Mayman, Masorti, and with Rabbi Marcelo, Rittner, because you, together with them, are creating a space where Jews from all over the world become one. That's your passion. We, from North America, it hadn't been our passion, but it's our passion now. You lead us like that. You are our prayer because your davening brings us as close to God as most of us are ever likely to get. You are our prayers because of all of the amazing, amazing things that you do and helped us to do. And yet, what is so incredible about you is that sigh right there, like, oh yeah, is she gonna say more things? Is despite your beautiful voice, your star quality, that everyone who sees you knows, despite all of the ways that you have transformed our shul, you are still a humble mensch. You are still one who takes yourself with a great sense of humor, with a wonderful smile, with an easy laugh. You are a man who is not only sparkling with intensity, but also with kindness and decency and menschlichkeit. You regularly step out of the spotlight in order to create a space for others to shine. Everyone here tonight heard your extraordinary voice, but your signature move is not showcasing that voice. Your signature move is the duet. Your signature move is joining. Elias, thank you for inviting all of us to join every day. You are our prayer. Elias, in the entire world, there is no greater love than you. I love working with you. Wes loves working with you. All of us love working and praying and walking through life with you. You are our friend. And for that, my friend, we have to thank you. Hold on, and so we have for you some gifts and also a blessing.
What I'm supposed to say after this. I sing for a living, I don't talk. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sing very soon with my voice a song, and singing with my two boys, Mikey and David, is a great privilege. It's a great, what we used to say in English, fargenigen, a beautiful, something that it's not explainable, that we feel in the heart. And it reminds me, when I grew up, that I used to sing with my brother in Argentina, in the synagogue, and my parents would be there watching us and cavilling about what we were doing. Like Marcelo, I also grew up in Argentina, and I'm also wondering what my father could be thinking right now about this award. And I remember him vividly, my mom, who was not able to come, but always installing me this idea that no matter how good you are at something, you always need to be humble, and you are not better than anybody else. As I said before, I grew up in Argentina, and I was privileged and honored to learn from many wonderful people, but also work with so many wonderful people in so many synagogues that I had the privilege of serving, from Chaim Leitzman in San Martin, Lambrota Col in Argentina, where my dear friend Marcelo and I worked for so many years together. And I always wanted to come here to America to be able to be a Chazan here with my wonderful wife Lorena. We planned this so many years ago, and you were my partner in crime, and we made it. And there was one man sitting in the back, Rabbi Rosemberg, who opened his arms and his doors to his synagogue in New Jersey for me to be able to have my first pulpit here in America. And then Temple Event in Chestnut Hill. And you know, like when you are dating, you're young and you start dating a lot of girls, and in my case, and then I meet my wife, my wonderful wife, and I said, that's the one. I want to marry her. That's the same thing with Temple Emmanuel. I was able to find that. So 10 years ago, I found my perfect match, and I've been honored and blessed to work with you, to serve with you, to be able to do wonderful things together. Especially want to thank Lisa Hills, I don't know where Lisa is, for putting all this together. The concept of Hidur Mitzvah means to make the mitzvah more beautiful, to embellish the mitzvah. And that is what cantors around the world try to do by bringing the words of the Siddur, the words of the Machzor, the sacred words alive, to make them new all the time. Shirul Adonai Shir Chadash doesn't mean to sing a new song to God, to write a new song to God every week, but to be able to take an old song and to do a new interpretation of it. I'm so honored and so privileged to be here. I very happily accept the Hidur Mitzvah Award, being also the first Latin American cantor to get it. And thank you so much. So a quick note about my two boys. I have the privilege, as I said before, to sing with them all the time in Shabbat services. And actually, they take it seriously. And, imagine for an 8-year-old and an 11-year-old when they go to the congregation on Shabbat morning, and everybody is telling them, oh, you're fantastic, and the highlight of the service is you. Actually, and now they want to be professional cantors. And actually, the little one, David, here, who is 8, said, Dad, how long is your contract at the Temple of Maybe when I come back from college, I can be a cantor. We are going to sing Al Ken Nekabel Echad. For this song, especially want to thank Jeremiah Klarman, a wonderful, talented Luis Catan, my dear wonderful colleague from Uruguay. We went together to Spain and we enjoyed it. I appreciate your friendship and being here representing the Cantor Society.
So, Cantor, everybody here heard how much I adore you, but I don't think you like me very much to have put me after Mikey and David. They were incredible. Mikey and David, your song is so beautiful. We hope and pray, David, we'd love to have you sing with us, but your father has a contract forever. We'll turn to a little more serious moment here. We pray for peace every week in our shul. We invite you to join us as we come to our prayers for peace now.
Shalom. Dear friends, queridos hermanos, Shari Ami, Chaverin Karim, Tayyar Mishpuchi. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for making this the most historic evening. Your generosity, dedication, and presence here tonight represent the diversity and the vitality of our worldwide movement. If you've traveled more than 100 miles to be here, please stand so we can applaud you and celebrate your passion and leadership. Casi vieron más de 160 kilómetros, entonces todos los mexicanos por favor levanten pie. We hope that tonight has provided you an invaluable opportunity where you can encounter your spiritual kindred spirits cara a cara, panim y muy panim. The title of this evening is Encounter the Americas for a most fitting reason. This is not only the first time that we are honoring people from Latin America, but this is also the first time that the three honorees represent the entirety of North America. Tonight we have over 210 people from Argentina, you can clap, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Mexico, France, Hungary, Israel, and the United States. And the United Kingdom, of course. We're divided by common language. Martin Buber, in his magnum opus, I Thou, postulated that we encounter the divine when we authentically recognize the godliness of the individual who stands before us. On the other hand, the divine spark is extinguished when we objectify our neighbor in an I-it relationship. One need only look at the seismic political fallout across the Atlantic Ocean, Brexit, or down the I-95 corridor to realize the harsh consequences as a result of pithy two-word insults or xenophobia. Hay personas en este mundo que quieren construir muros. Nuestro responso es construir puentes del entendimiento. As proud Masorti Jews, we need to be vigilant and outspoken about the values espoused in our teachings: democracy, pluralism, and religious freedom. While others build walls, we navigate bridges of understanding. The power of one, la fuerza de una, whenever we are overcome with despair or cynicism, we need to muster resolve in embracing the power of one and the exponential impact of the individual spirits. Naomi, our eternal beacon and pan-American bridge builder par excellence, was Rabbi Marshall Mayer, Zichronot Tzadik Livracha. We are honored to have delegates from the educational institution that bears his name, Seminario Rabínico Latinoamericano, and we welcome Claudio and Miguel for being with us. Thank you for traveling so far. Close your eyes for a moment, and with your permission, Naomi, allow me to humbly attempt to channel Marshall's powerful words that still resonate today. I have no reason to be silent in the face of injustice. I cannot believe to claim belief in God and remain active when God's image is destroyed. We human beings are made in the image of God, and when humans are denigrated, humiliated, and persecuted, the sanctity of life, of human life, we lose our course in history and become less than human. We have found that Jews will come to the synagogue and will begin to pray if a proper focus is made and we address real issues. We don't implant issues. We don't assume that we have all the answers, but that we are questing for an element of sanctity. But I believe that the only way to build for tomorrow is a realistic approach to the problems of today. And there are great problems in Judaism and great problems in Jewish life, and they have to be addressed. And I think one needs to be honest enough to address these and not come with platitudes and pat answers, and really agonize over the question and agonize over the inequalities of Jewish life. Wow. How authentic and powerful was his message? He spoke truth to power. One of my favorite books in business school was Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer Johnson. This book is an allegory that features 4 characters, 2 mice, Sniff and Scurry, and 2 little people, Hem and Haw, and how they seek happiness and sustenance in an ever-changing landscape. What happens to us when our seared basar is taken from us and we still want to be relevant? Yesterday morning in Parshat Toldot, we read that our spiritual DNA is embedded with extreme cases of sibling rivalry. ויתרצו הבנים בקרבה, ותאמר, אם כן, למה זה אנוכי? ותלך לדרוש את אדוני. As Jacob and Esau struggled together within Rebekah's womb, Rebekah implored Adonai about her suffering and life purpose. My friends, due to our decentralized nature, our movement, unfortunately all too often, has succumbed to bitter infighting. Friends, we have a clear choice in front of us. We can either remain embroiled in myopic pettiness, attempting to cling to limited resources of diminishing power, or we can break down traditional silos and collaborate together for the betterment of our mission and the Masorti movement. Over the last months for preparing for this event, I'm encouraged and optimistic that we do have the potential to work together. When we keep moving the cheese from us, we can adapt quickly and savor the bounty collectively. Please allow me to share some personal thanks for some key people who made this evening possible. From London, our esteemed colleague and President Jill Patton. You can clap. Dear Jill, you've been a steadying force during turbulent times. You've orchestrated endless conference calls and meetings to provide for the bright future of Masorti Olami. Thank you for leading our executive committee and board. We hope 2017 will include more time for you and Eddie to enjoy your growing family. Our tribute chair, Mary Sanders, sends her warm greetings from Israel and unfortunately could not join us, but we want to thank her and the entire tribute committee. They deserve a round of applause. Mary will send you the video. Thank you for your generosity and your encouragement. Thank you for all the 3 honorees and their keynote for opening their hearts, their minds, and their wallets to advance the mission of Masorti Olami. I thoroughly enjoyed visiting each of your communities as we plan for tonight. Empezamos con la familia de Betel. Antes que todo quiero mandar refuah shlema a su hermano de Chazan Leibel, which we hope that speedy refuah shlema for Leibel's brother in Argentina. Marcelo and Ruti, thank you for a wonderful Shabbat evening that nourished our body. Good, I couldn't get chopped liver in DC, so thank you for chopped liver in New York. You nourish our body on the Shabbat, and you do it with cariño and class. Querido Marcelo, I don't think it is an accident that you were Marshall's right hand in Camp Ramah, Argentina. As the crown jewel of our movement, Ramah epitomizes the proven correlation between experiential education and Jewish identity. Kudos to Rabbi Mitch Cohen and his team for knowing how to find new cheese. For example, they are bringing the Masorti lens to the outdoor adventure in Colorado, and their leader, Rabbi Elias, is here. Where is he? Round of applause for him. And for those of you who don't know, their newest venture is a specialized sports camp with a Jewish Masorti lens. Marcelo, thank you for sharing your Shem Tov to create the Rittner Fellows Program. This dynamic 2-week leadership training seminar in Israel will cultivate la tercera generación, the 3rd generation of Betel leaders. Gracias a Oscar y Janet for hosting the kickoff dinner and all the Betel leaders in attendance. Leo, Yari, thank you for your friendship and your willingness to dream together. I look forward to many years of partnership together. ¿Dónde está Ari? As a die-hard Miami Dolphin fan, it pains me to shift eastwardly to our next honoree, who traded Diego Maradona for Tom Brady to be an American patriot in Newton, Massachusetts. Elias, you are the musical and spiritual metronome that harmonizes your kahal. As the first graduate of Beta Sof Cantor Seminario, Your masterful voice has cross-pollinated the Masorti Ruach across the Americas. This kind of international hybrid fertilization was evident this summer when our cherished leaders Nava and Rabbi Jules Harlow and various Chazanim nurtured seeds in our developing communities in Madrid, Valencia, Barcelona, and Lisbon. We're most appreciative that Chazan Steve Stein, the executive director from the Cantor's Assembly, is here tonight, and we look forward to our continued partnership. Elias, I admire your midah of anivut, of humility. Thank you for producing the creative component of tonight's event and introducing Masorti Olami to Temple and Marion. Every Jewish professional should be blessed with a lay leader like Lisa is. It is awe-inspiring to see a volunteer possess a rare combination of effectiveness, chim, and love. Please thank your local tribute team and give Wes and his wife our sincere condolences and tell them that we look forward to celebrating Smachot together. Now, it's time to turn to our northern border and embrace the colorful maple leaves in Toronto. Dear Marion, thank you to you and Shlomo and your family for everything you do on behalf of our movement. You are a very hard worker who never seeks credit or accolades. Even though you do not desire the attention, you need to know that you truly deserve this kavod. Your tireless efforts through Mercaz Canada has ensured that we as a movement have a seat at the Zionist table. Mercaz represents the interest of Masorti conservative Judaism in the World Zionist Organization, the Jewish Agency for Israel, and Karen Kamat Israel, the Jewish National Fund. Mercaz Olami's 16 chapters in countries with domestic Zionist federations advocate for our values and is the force that guarantees funding for religious streams that's so crucial to our movement. We're thrilled that your Rabbi Phil Shawn, who's the current president of the RA and secretary of Mercaz Olami, is joined tonight by Mercaz Olami President Rabbi Alan Silverstein and several other Mercaz Olami officers and representatives. I want to give a special thanks to my colleagues Rabbi Jennifer Gorman, Ron Hoffman, and Yisrael Ches in Israel for thinking collaboratively and creatively to benefit Marion's designated project of Onward Olami. This 6-week high-level internship program in Jerusalem will enable Canadian Masorti educators to receive invaluable professional development, cultivate a deeper personal connection, and bring needed leadership skills back to Canada to train their youth movement. We're also thrilled that many of our Noam Olami international leaders will be attending USY Convention in Dallas later this month. Earlier this afternoon, we had 30 students and young professionals from USY, Noam Olami, Marion Olami, and Masorti on campus participate in a fascinating conversation about ways to strengthen our international network. Thanks to Rabbi Mitch Cohen, Roy Paled in the back, where he deserves a round of applause for sure. And Rabbi Rick Seeger from moderating this important conversation. Chaverim, tonight is only possible because of our all-star staff. Thanks to Suzanne and Mishalim for keeping us focused, Ariella for liaisoning with Latin America and developing beautiful graphics for tonight, Alexis and David's support, and Heather for jumping in with a positive attitude. Where is she? More importantly, thank you very much to the talented and indefatigable Tihelaru and the loudest applause. You've been a true friend and an invaluable co-producer. Lastly, I want to thank my family and my dear Junji Cantor, Arian Brown, who's home in DC and expecting our third son in literally any minutes. So please, thank you. Hold on for 36 more hours, please. We're happy to share that tonight's tribute event has raised over $240,000. We hope that this evening has demonstrated the endless possibilities to share our Masorti Torah with the next generation of leaders. If you are inspired and would like to make an initial or additional contribution, please see me afterwards. I only have one last thing to say, and I encourage you to join me with the Chazanim. Am Masorti Chai.
the kavod, the zchut of closing this event. Many congratulations to my dear Rabbi Marcelo Rittner, querido Marcelo, tía Ruti, toda la querida familia Yoshalcoa, por muchos años compartidos, por muchos más que primero Dios vendrán, con cariño, con profunda admiración. Muchísimas gracias por todo. Al Hassan, Elias, Rosemberg, a Marion, Mayman, and to Masorti Olami, with all its wonderful staff and group of volunteers for all your accomplishments. Masorti. And many thanks to all of you for being here and generously participate and support this important project. We are on Chodesh Kislev, not far from the festival of Hanukkah, Chag HaUrim, a special season in our calendar. And when this Chag approaches with its lights, its dietetic foods, its music, its gifts, we have to understand that one of the most important distinctions we have learned in the course of reflection on the Battle of the Maccabim and on Jewish history in general is the difference between optimism and hope. Optimism is the belief that things will get better. Hope is the belief that together, beyachad, juntos, we can make things better. Optimism is a passive virtue. Hope, an active one. Knowing what do of our path, no Jew can be an optimist. But Jews have never, despite the history of sometimes extreme suffering, given up hope. Hope is not costless in the way that optimism is. It carries with it a considerable price. Those who hope refuse to be comforted, while the hope hoped for outcome is not yet reached. The Jewish people never gave up hope. That is why, when the prophets, our Rebbeim, saw evil in the world, they refused to be comforted. The optimist analyzes the situation. He gives a diagnosis and says, there is a 25% possibility of success. This calculation can take us to inactivity if the risks are too high. But the hopeful acts and doesn't lose energy even when probabilities are low and obstacles are many. You don't need a lot of courage to be an optimist, but it takes a great deal of courage to have hope.